Hello, we are live. I'm just going to wait a few moments for some folks to join us. Awesome. All right, I think we're just going to confirm we're live on Twitter and we're live on YouTube. So yay. Awesome. Well, hello, everyone. I am Sophia. I lead developer relations at Celo, and I'm joined today with Linda from Farcaster. So we are really excited to have Linda here with us today. If you've been following along with Celo devs, you know that we're currently leading we're part of the Only Dust Hack 13, and we have an open Celo Farcaster MiniApps open source repository for anyone to hack and build on and earn rewards. So please join and RSVP to this event, and we get to learn all about Farcaster MiniApps. Today we have Linda joining us, and this is such a pleasure. Linda, I've been following along your entire journey from Bounty Caster to the Ethereum film to everything that you've done. And so excited to see that you've joined the Farcaster team and how you're growing the developer ecosystem on Farcaster. So it is such a pleasure to have you here today. Feel free to take it away with any slides you have prepped.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me. Excited to be here. So I will just do a screen share. Let's see. Okay. So is everyone able to see? Is this, did it go through?
Yep.
Okay. Yes, it did. Okay, cool. So yeah, today just going to give an overview of Farcaster. Sophia, feel free to stop me at any point if there's questions or things that you want clarification on. I definitely want this to be more interactive. But yeah, just a high-level overview for those that aren't as familiar with Farcaster. It is a decentralized social network, so anyone can build on top of it, and it is completely permissionless to use any of the social graph data. So this is really different than like if you were to build something on Twitter where you do get rate limited and it is quite expensive to use. I had previously built on both Farcaster and Twitter, and it was just a much more seamless experience building on Farcaster, which is part of why I was so excited to join the team. So MiniApps are just applications within the Farcaster social feed, and I'll demo a bunch today so that you'll get a feel for what it looks like. What's unique about this, because there are many apps across different ecosystem, is that it supports on-chain transactions directly within the social feed. And so we have a wallet called Warpcast Wallet that is enabling like a one-click experience. You never have to leave the Farcaster social feed in order to connect your wallet or anything, and you can keep interacting with apps through Farcaster. What's cool is also you can easily convert existing web apps. We've made it really simple, miniapps.xyz. Hopefully the documentation is really straightforward to convert anything existing. Folks have told us it's taken them like a day or two to get everything ported over if they have something existing. And then wide variety of use cases, games, DeFi, prediction markets, all kinds of stuff. So we'll definitely demo some for you today. Why build a mini app? Well, it's a really great way to get your first 1,000 users. One thing that is really hard when you're just building a new application is that you have to then get people to download your app or go to your web app and guide everyone there. So within Farcaster, we already have all these users that are spending their time within the application. So Farcaster right now has it varies obviously, but like maybe 60,000 to 70,000 users, daily active users. And so we end up being able to just discover mini apps within the social feed, which is really valuable. And so you can see here, you can actually have like someone post a mini app and then you open it up right within the feed. And then once you take an action, you can then share. You have like a Farcaster share button, and then the user can then share within feed. So it creates this like potential virality component. And then the other thing that's really valuable here is that you also have notifications. So if someone adds your mini app, you can then start notifying users and engage them to come back later. This is really great if you have like a new campaign going on or you're giving out rewards to users, and it allows them to come back and discover your mini app. So that's just like very high level overview. I am going to then maybe just like demo a few. I think maybe this is a great place to start. Yeah, mini app examples. This is the mini app explore page for a user that's landing within the Warpcast app. This is a client just built on top of Farcaster. It's the main client. We have a featured mini app every week, and so you can check that out. We also have trending as well, so you can see like all of the different apps here. The algorithm for this is ranked by just a number of on-chain transactions and volume of on-chain transactions, which have the highest weight, because we really feel what's unique about mini apps here is when people have that like magical on-chain transaction moment. And then also mini app usage. So if you just have a lot of daily active users, but you're not doing transactions, so Farville being an example, you can, and Farcade as well, you can rank quite high. So I'll just show a couple. So Farville is like the equivalent of Farmville on Farcaster. So you can have seeds that you plant, and you just harvest them. There's daily quests that happen. There's a market which you can then buy and sell seeds. What's really cool is let's say you want to have more lettuce seeds. So you can actually request this. Let's say I want to request from my network. You can actually share this within the social feed. And it's really cool because you can actually have a more like multiplayer experience, and people can donate seeds to you. So that's one of my favorites. Definitely recommend checking it out. There's another one that I think is really great for just like newcomers, that there's no like crypto native stuff that you have to worry about in terms of when you play this game. So Farcade just has like tons and tons of different games that you would see in just like any other mobile experience. So you have like 2048, you have like tower blocks. And so this is where you can then just start playing these games and just check it out. Others can create mini apps or apps within this mini app. So games within games. So definitely recommend checking this out. Another one that I think is really cool from a DeFi perspective is we have Morpho, which I have to find. Yep, Morpho. So this is just like a really great way that you can earn yield on your USDC. So here you have the ability to just deposit USDC and earn 5.6% APY. So I can deposit 1 USDC. So I will have that transaction approved. I don't have enough ETH in my this might be an error on my end, actually, so I won't show that. But basically, you just deposit funds into this. I definitely do have enough ETH, so maybe some issue here. But yeah, you can see there's a lot of different types of apps that you can explore. Cat Town's another fun one where you can just explore this world. This looks like just any let's see, Switch network. Oh, I know what's going on. Okay, it's my iPhone screen sharing that creates some issues sometimes. Yeah, there's a lot of different apps. Acid Test launched recently where you can have mints of different music and podcast experiences, which is really cool. So yeah, I'm a big fan of these mini apps. And then I guess like if anyone, please feel free to stop me, or if there's questions in the chat, because I'm not able to actually monitor what's going on. Let's see. I think everything's good. Yeah, just ask me questions. So how to build a successful mini app. So I think there's a couple really great resources. So I would say miniapps.xyz is our just like main documentation. So this is really fantastic for just going through and learning like how to build a mini app. I also love this post by one of our builders. This is the creator of Farville, Limone. And this is just a post that goes over like, here's some tips on how to make things take off with your mini app. So I basically agree with the whole thing. I think what's really valuable is that you build social features within your app. What's unique here is that you actually have a social graph that you can plug into. So that could be like a leaderboard. It could be, creating activity feeds of like what your friends did and things like that. So I highly, highly recommend leveraging that. The other piece that I think is really great is adding a share button. So you have like what I had showed you in this flow where you can just add a share button and share within the feed. The other piece is what's unique here is you're already like a user is already plugged in and signed in when they're using Warpcast. So you already know who this user is. So you don't have to then like onboard them and ask for a bunch of different information about them. You can just like bring them into your app like immediately, which is like a really great experience. So that reduces user drop off. Here's a good example where you actually have an app that incorporates all of your past cast information. And then you can now see like, okay, based off your past posts, like what kind of alignment are you on in terms of like pragmatist, builder, speculator, or decentralist. And so it was just like a one-click kind of, you can see where you fall in this. And actually I can just demo that here right now. So you can see on-chain alignment chart. So you can see here, it's just like going straight into analyzing my on-chain activity. Like I'm not providing some email address or something. So you can see here based off my past cast, it's like pragmatist and builder. And then you can see where your friends lie, which is, I think, awesome because it's demonstrating the social graph. So you can see like, oh, here's where my other friends are. Don't have as many speculator pragmatists here. And then you can share this within the social feed, which is just a really awesome feature that you can now blast that off to your followers. So it hits the virality component. And then one thing that is just like incredible about Farcaster is that your users are all within using Warpcast, right? So you can just DM users directly that are interacting with your app and get a fast feedback loop going. That's what we did when we were starting Bountycaster. So I think that's like one of the most underrated features, because like if you built a separate mini app or just like regular application, you then have to, collect a way to contact users. So like an email address or something. And now you have to like create an email and ask them regularly, like, hey, like, what do you think of this app? You have any feedback? Whereas here I can just like message people directly without ever having to leave the social feed. So I think that's really powerful. And then already talked about making sure to use notifications. And so the other question I got from the Celo team was just like related to mini app communities. So basically, how do you like build a mini app community? Like where are the best places to build it? And then like there's something called channels. Like how does that play a role? So a few pointers here. This is a screenshot of a channel that is within Farcaster for eggs, which is a mini app. And you can see here they're just giving updates on their mini app. And so I can just go straight to eggs right here. And so these you can see are just like users talking about eggs, and the founders are able to just give an update regularly. So it's a nice way to just have like a contained place that users can follow what's going on. This is so it's an option to create your own channel. We did that for Bountycaster with our own product, where you can have like a pin cast where people can discover most important aspects, and then this is just a feed of like what is happening in the ecosystem. The other piece is if you want to talk with other devs in the ecosystem, we have a few channels Farcaster or FC devs, Frames devs, Frames v2. The reason it says Frames is it used to be called Frames. It's now called MiniApps, but we can't rename channels right now. So that's on our to-do list in the future. But you can see here, there's just like different devs. And so this is a great place to ask questions and meet other developers. There's also there's 2 different group chats that I can add you to. So feel free to reach out. I'm not sharing the link publicly just so we don't get a bunch of spam in the chats, but there's a dev mini app group chat, which has like 500 users. And then this is like another thing where you can just kind of get like live feedback if you're running into issues. Like the Warpcast Eng team is in the chat. There's also like different people in the community who are also building mini apps that can help answer questions. So that's a really great resource. And then there's a group that I put together recently called Mini App Testers. So it's about 250 users. And these are just users that are super open to testing out different mini apps before they launch. So this is actually a great way to get like an early set of users and people like giving feedback. So just message me if you want to get added. I'm just at Linda on Farcaster. Yeah, and then in terms of like how to build a community, I would just treat it like any social network, and that like you just want to be genuine and not just like shill something nonstop. And so like think of your own experience when you're using a social network. Like you tend to gravitate more towards people that are genuinely excited about connecting with others and learning and improving versus just like buy my token or something like that. So I think Farcaster is one of the like nicest communities out there. So people are really open to connecting and giving feedback. The other piece was, let me tie this together. So the Farcaster community, this another question that Celo team had asked was just like, how do you recommend just starting in the community? There's a couple really great posts by people. So one of them is by Peachy, who's a community member, and she just talks about like kind of unwritten rules of Farcaster. So that's worth checking out. It's pinned to her profile. So it's like, yeah, don't ask for follows, like, reply thoughtfully, tag people with purpose. So it's just like basic like social network rules, and it's worth checking out. And then the other one that's really great is my colleague Ted wrote like 5 common pieces of feedback. And this is just like very similarly, like, don't post just mini apps, like also post content, and like, like don't just, post like GM or something like that. So I recommend taking a look at these resources. And then feel free to ping me too. Like I'm happy to help answer questions or guide any users. And then I'm just going to take a quick pause there and just check so we're good on questions. Cool. And then the other part is just Celo team wanted me to chat about my my bounty caster journey. So for context, about like maybe a year and a half ago, I started a company called Bounty Caster with my co-founder Daniel. Both of us ended up joining the Farcaster team and maybe like 2 months ago. So we decided to first start a company together. Like I approached it in the way that I cared most about the co-founder I was working with, and because I just wanted to make sure that we were like genuinely aligned on the vision of what we wanted to do together. So we first actually became co-founders, and then we decided what we wanted to work on together. So we like spent a lot of time brainstorming like what were things that we both had wanted to build. And one thing that kept popping up over and over was we wanted to help people get paid out in crypto for doing work and helping to build out a reputation. Because like I think everyone here agrees, like one thing that's really unique about crypto is it is cross-border and instant payments. And so there is no friction point with this kind of stuff. So we really wanted to further that use case of crypto. There had been attempts in the past about doing this, but we felt like there were enough things that had changed since those past attempts that it was worth just doing another shot. And we felt like Farcaster was actually a really valuable go-to-market in terms of getting our first few thousand users, which is what we ended up doing. And so for the reasons I mentioned already, it's fantastic for building your early user base because you have that virality in the feed. You have people that are really open to testing the product and giving feedback. So I highly recommend, like, this is, I still think like this is like the best place to get your first 1,000 users. And so we had both a like a web app and then a bot where people could interact with the bot and post. And this still all actually exists today. We are just focused on Farcaster right now, but this is still all operating and doing this in our spare time. The other piece that that I would say here is I think like one thing that's really cool about Bountycaster is that we also saw like there were a bunch of people that maybe were new to Farcaster but picked up a lot of bounties that were really challenging. Like they were dev bounties or design bounties, and they did a really good job with it. And they were able to meet and connect with people within Farcaster because the people posting are already like within the feed, so you can like follow each other afterwards. They can give you shout outs within the feed. So it actually ended up creating a lot of connections that we're really proud of, and that was something like that was a huge reason why we wanted to build it in the first place. And so we ended up deciding to join the Farcaster team because we felt like we had such a positive experience building on Farcaster with Bountycaster that we wanted to just accelerate the user growth on Farcaster. So we kind of moved down the stack, and we feel like this is going to be like a really special place to build. So I can maybe take a pause there, and I guess like if there's Sophia, if you had other questions or anyone in the chat had questions, otherwise I can always rant about Farcaster.
Yeah, no, it's amazing to hear about everything you said at Farcaster, but also Bountycaster. We actually used it at Celo to get some design bounties. We have this program called Proof of Ship, and we made it a contest on Bountycaster for figuring out our design assets. And we got to meet a ton of people within the Farcaster design community. They got introduced to Celo. So it is such a great place to get to use, like get to meet other people. But yeah, I really wanted to emphasize what you said as the value proposition, as Farcaster is one of the best places to get your first 1,000 users. I find that to be very true and also really hard to get anywhere else. We tried encouraging that in our own ecosystem, having an app page and sending apps to others in the ecosystem and being like, hey, here's things you can use. But it's really hard to get your first 1,000 users, and it's even harder to get feedback and close that feedback loop for your users. So we're really excited to have our community get a lot more active on Farcaster. And I know there's like a few things I wanted to mention, but Linda so graciously offered us 50 invites for building our community. So if you are, and we're officially announcing it now, but if you are a part of the Only Dust Hack 13, if you're building Farcaster MiniApps and you need a Farcaster invite, make sure to RSVP to this event and just indicate that you need a Farcaster invite, and we'll be inviting you. And then also, Linda, what you mentioned about communities and different communities that you can join. Celo has its own channel, has its own community. That is a great place to get started if you're trying to figure out where to join or meet other people in the Celo ecosystem. It's just Celo, and the whole DevRel team is really active on there. Others in the community are really active on there. We'll totally test out your apps. We'll totally offer feedback. And we're also trying to grow the Celo community on Farcaster. So those are some great little points. For the purpose of the Only Dust Hack, we have right now so how it works is we have 15 issues with mini app ideas that people can fork and then build, or they can propose their own ideas. And while we had you here, I wanted to get your advice. I know you mentioned Farmville. I know you mentioned the games. I know you also mentioned Morpho and DeFi. I wanted to get your advice on what you have seen as being successful mini apps, what you would maybe encourage this community to get started building, especially if it's their first mini app.
Yeah, so I also have a list of like I think it was like 80 or 90 mini app ideas, so I can drop that there if you just want any inspiration. But there are a lot of like games that do really well, just because like games are such a social aspect, where it's like, especially if you're doing like a social graph leaderboard, but you can see like, hey, these are where your friends ranked within the game, so like those work really well. I think anything that is like a really basic on-chain transaction works really well. So something like Morpho, where it's like you're depositing funds and like earning yield. I wouldn't recommend something like super complex like perps or something like that, just because like then like users, I have to like keep track of positions and things like that. So something that's like a little bit more basic and casual works really well as a first mini app. People love personality tests and things like that. Like those end up going really viral because it's like custom to you and like your own experience, and so like people just like generally like those kind of experiences. So let me also, this is pinned on my profile as well on Farcaster, but this is just like a list of different mini app ideas that are sourced from the community. So like another cool thing is like the someone build channel. Those work really well in terms of if you just want ideas. And what we also did with Farcaster is when we were launching it, we also searched what are people like that have posted about this in the past, because this is like a user that like clearly wants this product. And so like they could be your first set of users, and you can like ask them and like do some like user research. So that's kind of some leads.
I love that someone build channel, because I love just posting and be like, someone build this, please. These are some things that we would love for our community. I know for us specifically within the Celo builder ecosystem, we're definitely interested in mini apps that help grow the Celo ecosystem on Farcaster. So things that really like the social graphs, the social leaderboards. We even have in our README some APIs that you can use to get information from who is in the Celo ecosystem, what are some past projects, what are people building, their Farcaster handles, and things like that too. So you can integrate that within your app. We can maybe like a tipping campaign, some ideas I'm thinking, like rank 2 projects, vote on your favorite projects. We have lots of stuff coming out with deep governance and new ways of almost like a personality quiz to figure out your governance type and how that influence like how you vote on proposals or how you might think about certain things. And so you can find, and even retro voting. So you could do like a retro voting mini app of how you might vote for and allocate and use all the data from retro voting in all of that. So anything that helps grow the builder ecosystem and builder incentives, we will happily be your first testers and test out that for Celo. So yeah. But with that,
definitely, and then there's like a really great culture of like, if you want, it's all optional, but like building in public on Farcaster. Like when we were doing Farcaster, like we would always just share about our experiences and like our journey, and so people were really nice and like giving advice or feedback. And I think like people just wanted to support us because they saw us building in public. So that's something that I think lands really well on Farcaster. And there's like the founders channel where you can share experiences or see if anyone else is struggling with something similar. So I definitely would leverage that too, like on the builder side.
100%. I definitely agree. Especially what it takes to build a good product is to close the loop between feedback and product building. And so it's really hard to build a good product in a silo. It's a lot easier when you have the support of a community who can offer feedback, say their use cases. I think, Linda, that's how we first connected way back in the day. I was just such a huge fan of Farcaster. That value prop was a big reason I joined and got involved in this industry in the first place. And so I was really obsessed with the app. I think you messaged something of like, hey, what are some product stuff? And I responded of some my UX journey of how I've been using Farcaster. And I think that's how we first connected way back. So
yeah, thank you so much for the support too. Like, especially like it just means a lot too, just like coming from like you said, it's really hard to build an app and that gets used. And so like getting like user feedback like that is like some of the most valuable stuff that a builder can do. So anyways, just really appreciate that.
100%. Couldn't agree more. And yeah, to mention a quick case study, I know there's a few builders in our ecosystem who launched an app on Farcaster and then created a group chat, even like a smaller group chat. And then they would post build in public, and then they'd even post it again into the group chat just to get direct feedback really closely. So that's a good tip that you can do as well, of just like ways to continue improving. And then you have all that information about your early users, who liked post, who's offering, and because it's on Farcaster, you have that data and you can do cool things like maybe a potential airdrop to some of the early backers.
Yep, that's been a really common playbook, like of just like, hey, like just people are really supportive of us, and like when we do launch a token, like we want it to go to our early users. So I've seen that a lot, and I think it's just such a win-win on both sides.
It's such a win-win, and it's just the early days. So
it is, yes.
And then I had one last question. I think I saw in a group chat, but it's not on here. So builders are curious. So I know there's the Farcaster wallet, and there's also within MiniApps you can use Rainbow Wallet. Can you talk a little bit about the differences and then how to actually do interactions and transactions on Celo via a Farcaster MiniApp?
Yeah, so right now, so there's Warpcast Wallet, and like actually it's it hasn't been like formally announced, but Dan like communicated on Farcaster. I feel like I can say it. We're actually gonna rebrand Warpcast to Farcaster so that it's not as confusing for people to be like, what is Warpcast versus Farcaster? So anyways, it will be the Farcaster wallet in the long run. But the idea is that this is just like the native wallet within Farcaster. Right now we support a few different chains. Celo is not one of them yet, but it's something, you know, we've been chatting with together. And so right now, because it's not supported, if you're building a mini app on Celo, you would have like a different wallet connect into your mini app so that you can use Rainbow or some other method that you prefer. So that would be like the current state. And then over time, like ideally, like the plan is we are adding Celo. So you'll also have the added option of using Farcaster wallet as well, or Warpcast wallet as it is called today. And so, yeah, that is kind of the situation.
Awesome. That's great to hear. And yeah, hopefully Celo on Warpcast wallet soon and can improve the builder experience as well. I think those are all the questions we had from us and from the comments. Oh, where can people find you, Linda?
Yeah, I'm just at Linda on Farcaster. And then if you want to reach me other ways, I'm also I can just share like at LJXIE on Twitter if that's easier for you. But I'm very chronically online on Warpcast, so that'll be a good place to reach me too.
Yes, that's one of the best places is chatting with Farcaster. You get better DMs and responses than on X.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's such a great community to be part of. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We're so honored to have you here and join us. But this won't be the end. We'll continue to chat with you via Farcaster, via Warpcast, and continue to ping. And so excited to see more of our Celo community join the Farcaster ecosystem.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me.
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.